The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackast. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We're three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, broken bones, and Bam Margeras.
We were watching an episode from December 7th, 2003, which was a very interesting day. There was a birth.
Okay.
A very famous birth.
A famous birth.
Yeah. Princess Katerina Amalia of the Netherlands was born.
Oh shit. No way.
Yeah.
Princess Caddy.
Princess Caddy. My favorite of all the
Love
princesses.
Her.
I
Well,
collected her
are you
trading
sure?
card.
Because I like when I saw the name, I was like, I bet you she's like, like given that, it was 2003, she's now 19. I could say she was, like whether I could rate her looks. What do you think she looks like, guys? You might want to take a quick little Google because I bet you it's nothing what you expect.
I'm just going to say she's like freakishly tall, like 7'5" or something. Like she was an anomaly, She's got big feet.
She's still a princess.
And broad shoulders. I don't know. I didn't take it.
I'm looking her up, yeah.
What'd she look like? Can you describe her?
She looks like a chicken McNugget.
Give me
Oh my god.
Ooh, delicious.
Oh my god. Oh,
That one got Mikey for sure.
that got me. I think Jay's actually getting hungry based on that description too.
Yeah, a little bit. I need something
Oh
crispy.
my god. Oh my god.
Thank you, Chris, for that. That was fantastic. Mikey, throw a pickup.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will. I'll get the most chicken McNugget looking picture I can find.
Just put some googly eyes on it. You're all set.
It's just going to be Grimace. It's just going to be a picture of Grimace. By the way, is Grimace supposed to be a purple chicken nugget?
I always wondered that too. I think
There's-
that's got to make sense, right?
There's a whole entire theory online about what Grimace actually is. There's like websites dedicated to it. Me and Coley got it. My sister got into it really hard for a while. There's like actually a website like whatisgrimace.com. And they have the whole backstories of all the McDonald's characters.
I love that. When the new Matrix movie came out, they reopened the URL, What is the Matrix? But I think What is Grimace is...
Oh my god, I just looked this up. CNN apparently reported on this, and Grimace is a huge purple taste bud.
What? A taste bud?
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that is. That's somehow worse than a purple chicken McNugget.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love that. And I don't want to look more into this theory, Chris. I think you kind of ruined...
Let's leave it. Because I like the video. I don't want to ruin my headcanon here. To me, he's always going to be taking a bath in a tub of barbecue sauce, and I don't want that to change. Or sweet and sour, depending on the mood. I don't know. Maybe if he wants to get a little romantic, Season 1, Episode 7 of Viva La Bam. Yes, we're still on the Viva La Bam train. 2 episodes to go. The countdown is on. And we are nearing Jackass forever in theaters, and probably, I can only assume, digitally as well. So, wow, boys, I'm fucking excited. Not as excited as Ape and Phil are going to be when they find out what Bam has in store for them this time, given that this episode is titled Ape's Revenge, which sounds like an old arcade game from the 1980s.
Isn't that the story of Donkey Kong?
Yeah, I think so.
It's an Ape's Revenge.
Ape's Revenge, baby. All the way.
Why is his
That's
name
what I was
Donkey
referencing.
Kong?
Thank you for clearing that up.
Now that we're talking about all these weird things, why is his name Donkey Kong? Because I always assume he's a donkey, but he's clearly not a donkey.
No, he's not a donkey. He's actually a brown taste bud. Savory, I think, is the...
Wow, Jay,
What?
you normally drop the ball on these, but that was fucking really good.
I didn't think it was that good. I was kind of just rehashing what Mikey
So you know
already
what?
told us,
Maybe
but-
from now on, when you think a joke is really good, lay off it. If you don't think it's good, it's probably going to land.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
No problem. I'm just here for moral support,
I'll pack that one away for later. Speaking of packing, it's time to pack for Ape and Phil because they're going on a trip. When we get the camera, the subtitle that says Ape and Phils Bedroom, the first thing you hear in this episode is Raab walking in and going, yeah. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm excited.
That's a very
too.
Raab thing.
That's
yeah.
a very Raab thing. I just wanted to point that out. No relevance. That's really not going to go anywhere. I don't think we're going to come back to that, but I just wanted to make it known to the listener one more time, just in case you didn't get it the first time. Raab walks into the bedroom and he proceeds to go. So there you go. Hey, so why are we packing, guys? Because we're going to leave them on an island for 24 hours, reveals Bam. He's going to leave his parents on an island for 24 hours. Better pack the Rice Krispies, the birthday cake that says happy birthday Larry and Brian, and the baked beans. Whose cake do you figure that is, boys? Any ideas, any guesses?
Larry and Brian's.
Larry and Brian's probably.
Yeah, but who are these?
Or maybe it's Larry
and Brian
O'Brien,
characters?
the guy that is who the NBA championship's named after.
Yeah, they had him over for birthday cake one day.
And that's why they bought it on budget, because they actually made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
That could be it. That could be it. Have you guys noticed, though,
What?
or did you notice at the beginning of this episode, it looks like this was filmed 4 years prior to the last few episodes that we had. Everyone looks
younger,
so young in it.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
what is that about?
Yeah, that is weird. Now that you mentioned it, I didn't really
Ooh,
think
guys,
of that.
I got an idea.
What's up?
Yeah.
Being that they had to, pack some survival items, and being that I'm a huge survivalist, or at least I watch a lot of TV on, I probably couldn't do anything in real life.
I was going to say
We should do a vote. Pick our top 5 if we had to survive on an island for a week. What are your 5 items you'd bring, and see who has the best items?
You know what? Never mind items. You need to pick 2 Jackass characters or actors who are going to help you survive.
Oh, it's easy.
okay.
The Wild Boys. Come on. That's the easiest
That's a good one.
solution.
I'm going
That's
to
a good
go
one.
Dunn, because I have a feeling Dunn's
No.
actually good at building things.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you always
all
see him, he
looks.
has his carpentry stuff out. He's always building up the little shacks. Even in this episode, he kind of fucks up, but I think he could really do it. And I would obviously bring Pawnee as just, in case I get lonely, you need to have the most
Yeah.
romantic one around.
Fair enough. Mikey?
Jay, you're going with the Wild Boys? That's your final answer?
Well, they're the survivalists. They know everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should know. Chris, I think you're wrong about Ryan Dunn. In fact, they make fun of his carpentry skills. He almost burns down the camp because he can't even put nails in a board in this episode. But you know who I'm bringing? And I hope you guys will let it. Tim Glomb is pick number 1 for me.
he's not on
This guy,
Jackass.
he can do fucking everything. Okay, so he doesn't count? Okay. You know what? Okay, I would probably say I want Johnny Knoxville there, because he seems like a good fucking hang. And if I'm going to be stuck somewhere, I'd like to be stuck with him. And B, he's willing to just do whatever the fuck. So say we have like a coconut hanging over an alligator pit, he's definitely going to do it. And even if he falls, he's not going to get hurt because you can't injure the guy. And then I'm probably going to say something like Danger Aaron, because we're going to need a piggy type person, like from Lord of the Flies, to bully a little bit. And I don't want that to be me, and he may be the only person subservient to me.
Poor Piggy. What did he ever do? What did he ever do to you? That's what I want to know. But we don't have time for those questions. We're all business here on the Viva La Bam show. That's not the name of the podcast. Let's go boating. Hey guys, you want to go boating? Get everyone in the boat, the whole fucking family. They have no idea what's about to happen. Don Vito's there, Ape Phil, the Jackass crew. It's the Viva La Bam crew. But anyway, I mean, not a lot happens here. They put a life preserver on Vito, one of those big orange ones, just to keep him safe in case he falls.
He looks
overboard.
adorable. He looks adorable with that thing on.
Oh man, so adorable. There is one thing I find weird. They come out from the bay and they're on their boat. They're having a good time. And then they come up on this island, and as they're coming up on the island, Bam looks at Rake Yohn, and he says,
Yeah.
"What's with the glasses?" And Rake Yohn is wearing these weird glasses, and he just deflects it immediately. It's like he doesn't want to answer that question. He just turns around, look, guys, a nuclear power plant on 3 Mile Island, which kind of sets up what's about to happen here. But then he's not going to let him off the hook here. He's like, no, seriously, what's up with those glasses? And then he starts going on about how there's like photons that protect his eyes or something.
He uses his science brain, because 3 Mile Island, there's a
forgot.
nuclear reactor on there. It's melted down before, apparently, or there's been a fire or something like that. But Rake is like a fucking scientist, as
remember we
learned
figured that out
earlier on in
before?
these recordings. Yeah. And he shows off his science brain, and he's talking about, like you said, Jay, his eyes being protected by photons. I would believe him. Of anyone in that boat, I would trust him. The fact that he's sketched out by 3 Mile Island, where the nuclear reactor is, I'm going to go with him and say he probably made the right choice.
Right on. Chris, you were the science guy at one point. I believe we labeled you the science guy. Do photons only travel?
Gee, that's not a smart move. He's not. Let's not name him the science guy.
He's got the
crazy.
answer. Trust it. Put some trust in him. Listen.
Yeah.
Do photons
He's
only travel in like a straight line, or what's the deal here? Because I mean, I'm just thinking, unless a photon only travels in a straight line, that those glasses ain't going to be doing shit. Chris, your comments.
Photons are actually they bounce around a lot. They're very like.
No, this sounds legitimate. Yeah, okay.
There's actually a word for it. They are
what?
Volatile molecules. I know that.
Holy
that much.
shit, Mikey! You doubted this guy? Listen to him.
Yeah,
Spouting
because
off
here's the thing.
knowledge is
Here's
what?
the thing, Jay. Chris is saying all this as though he knows it because that's what he does. And I guarantee you, if you fact check him, it's not true. I know him too well.
All right,
The
somebody
worst thing that
let
ever
us
happened
know.
to me, Jay, was iPhones came out, because before then,
I thought
me
you
and
were gonna
Mike
say
would have
Mikey,
arguments,
but
and I'd be
yes,
able to
continue.
convince him otherwise.
Uh-huh.
And the second he got his iPhone, he was the first person I knew that had an iPhone. He would just check everything on the spot, and I never won an argument ever again. It was kind of shit.
Yeah, the day the
But to be
innocents die.
fair
What?
about this, guys, photons are quantum particles, which means they don't travel in a straight line. They have a wave.
That's
a wave
exactly
to
what
them.
I said.
No, you said they bounce around a lot.
Yeah. What does quantum
And
mean?
you called them a molecule. They're particles.
No, I said the molecules of their particles bounce around a lot.
I don't think he said that. Somebody rewind the podcast
Chris,
and
do
find
you-
out.
The
Some say
molecules
tomato,
of the
some say
particles.
tomato. All right, guys, let's fucking move on. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's move on. Let's
And,
move on to Filligan's Island.
Yeah, much like Rake Yohn deflects. Chris, nice deflect there. Let's go back to the show. 3 Mile Island does have an inactive power plant on it that was shut down due to a core meltdown, 1979, and some gases were released. The government claims there were no fatalities, ... yet. So,
But I mean,
All right.
if this happened near the town that Phil and Don Vito grew up,
Oh shit!
I mean,
the Didnt.
Are
This
you
could
sure
be the
nothing
origin of
got
the
out?
Didnt. Yes. Don Vito he's just talk about like a scientific miracle, or like a scientist's wet dream, if you will. I'm sure there's lots
What's
of things.
the opposite of a miracle?
Could, yeah.
A scientific experiment gone wrong. I think is what Don
Abomination
Vito
is what you're
is.
looking for.
Abomination. There you go. Yeah.
But we're about a football field away
In
from
fact,
the island here.
I think abomination is a great word for him because he looks like he could be the villain that could take on the Hulk, if I'm being honest. And
Yeah. It's cute, says Ape, the island. She says it's cute. Yes, sure. That's one way to describe it, I suppose. But here we go. Let's leave my parents in the radiation zone. Plan begins. I hope they pack some rataways in that bag because they're gonna need them.
nice Fallout reference.
Poison ivy and shit in here, says Don Vito. He's not having it. He's sitting on a tree stump about, 50 meters from the shore. So he's like, fuck it, that's enough. I ain't going any further.
Yeah, it's this whole scene is fun, especially like I was kind of bummed out that I heard the title of this episode before watching the episode Ape's Revenge, because I was like, this is a great concept. Leave Ape and Phil on the island and Don Vito and all that. But Ape she's questioning it from the very beginning. She's hesitant, right? Like she's skeptical that they're there for any reason, and for good reason, because nothing is like it seems when Bam Margera is your child. And eventually she starts to rally the troops together for a coup against Bam.
Oh boy, the plot twist. It thickens. Yes, Phil has to take a piss. He goes next to a radioactive barrel, seems like a good a spot as any, and asks for Ape to come and guard him. Now, this is exactly where it comes out, Mikey. Ape looks right at the camera and says, they're planning to leave us here, right? And I'm thinking the whole time, this is fucking canned, isn't it? They planned all this. They knew this is scripted. It just feels way too scripted. That's my opinion anyway. How did you guys feel about this?
I was thinking exactly what you were thinking. Like, obviously, this is scripted. Until they drove away and Bam acts like a little fucking child. And he's like,
He acts like a
I'm
baby.
gonna fucking get you back. I can't believe. Like, his reaction made me actually then think, I have a feeling it actually wasn't planned to go down this way, because you see the wheels in his brain churning. Like, number one, how am I going to make this an episode now? Number two, I can't believe she did this to me. And he gets really fucking petty, which I genuinely think shows me at least that it wasn't set up the way that it ended up.
I totally agree, Chris. At first I was like, there's no way. But it not only Bam's reaction, but Ape's genuine motherly reaction of like, I'm about to hurt my child. She just has trouble leaving.
That's so true.
And here's the kicker. Here's the main reason why I think they didn't plan it. How many chairs did they bring? They brought 3 chairs. Ape, Phil, Vito, and that's it. If they actually planned to be there, I guarantee you they wouldn't have said anything, and there'd be like a couple extra chairs and this and that.
True.
And that's it.
Look at you, Detective Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know. I respect your guys' opinions. I do think you're getting worked a little bit, though. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, this is the ongoing debate for this special foray into the show. It just keeps coming up. To what extent are these actually scripted? And because it's MTV, I mean, I know they want to put on a good show and they want to have exciting things happen. It's reality TV. So I tend to think they know, but you guys might be right. There could be an element there.
I think
if they did do it that way, I think they would have left Vito if they wanted the excitement. Imagine fucking Vito melting down that he got left on a fucking island. It would have been.
Oh, he would have been.
They really dropped the ball on that. I wish they did.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like they realized they got to team up against these fucking youngsters because they're kind of sick of taking that shit. That's the vibe I get.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that, first of all, I think maybe the most likely situation is one of the producers, because now we know, looking back on the history of reality TV, producers basically script every episode regardless of what people involved know. Maybe one of the producers told Ape what was going to happen and said, this is what you should do, and that's what the episode's going to be. But the funniest part about this is, like, Vito is such a miserable son of a bitch all the time, especially in these earlier recordings when he probably doesn't realize how significant the show is going to be, and therefore he's going to be a little bit of a celebrity. But he's complaining the whole time, and then Ape rallies him and Phil together to get out of there because they were definitely going to get locked on the island, and he's still complaining. Yeah. He's on the boat like, oh, fuck it, I can't do it. Oh, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Like, you just got your whole day saved, Don Vito, and you're still complaining. Is there no making this kid happy?
Yeah, hoagie.
Yeah, never mind. That's the secret.
Yeah.
But you're right, Mikey. Like, Ape is rallying them to come, but there is a point where Vito's taking too long to get there, and she just looks at Phil and goes, "Leave him behind. He's slow and stupid." But Phil, such a kind heart that teddy bear has. He leaves no man behind. He waits for Vito. Right. So they all get on the boat, and what the hell? Here it comes. Bam the whole crew realizes they're on the boat. They have a bit of a back and forth shouting, across the river with Ape and Bam. And he says his most threatening thing that he can come up with in that moment is, I have a cell phone. So It sounds like he's going to use it. Live it up now, he says, because you're going to be hating it so bad tomorrow when I make my fucking phone call, he says. Now, Mikey, let me tell you something. How about I give you the finger and you give me my fucking phone call?
Oh,
taking a page
good ref.
Bam Margera taking a page from the
I give you the
Keanu
finger.
Reeves.
You give me my fucking phone call.
The what's the name of that movie?
The Matrix.
Was
it The Devil's Advocate? No.
I think you're both
it was The
wrong.
Matrix.
No,
it wasn't the
Yeah.
It wasn't The Matrix.
Yeah,
was
it's
it?
when Agent Thing had him in the first time when he put him in the little cell.
Look. I was trying to take a page from last week and come up with like a porn spin on The Matrix, and I couldn't do it. I failed. So somebody else, either one of you two or what?
That would be a gay porn. No?
Oh, I misheard you. I'm sorry. Okay, The Gay Tricks. Yes, that's fine.
And you can even use tricks as in like turning tricks.
Yeah. Ooh.
The gay tricks. Just punching it up. But you're right. It is from The Matrix. Yeah.
Wow.
Also, no one's mentioned the fact that Phil has hamburgers on his shirt again. Why are we not always talking about that? That makes me laugh every fucking time.
I gotta start looking for that every episode.
He still does.
Dude, I missed that.
The funniest thing is he wears a hamburger shirt like every other episode. Like, dude, your MTV has a lot of money. Buy a couple other white shirts if you want. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody send me a tweet at Jackass Pod. What's your Matrix porn parody? I'm sure there's so many, and I'm sure we've missed so many good ones. I couldn't do it. I let the show down. I think now it's only fair that we end the show here and we pretend this never happened. Okay.
What about Enter My Matrix?
Bye, I'm Jason Wellwood. You see that? I don't mind that. I'd enter your Matrix any day. You just make the call. Listen, we got to get back to things. It's Bam here. he's making his phone call. He's trying to be like, I get what they wanted to do here. They wanted to make this exciting. Like, Bam's gonna call in a fucking prop plane from a guy, and it's gonna be like you're playing Call of Duty and you just fucking, send in an airstrike and missiles are gonna rain down. There's gonna be fucking duffel bags of stuff everywhere. It's really, it's kind of lackluster. They drop off a duffel bag. There's like a few things in there when they get it. I think there's like a radiation detector. They got various supplies.
Yeah, they got a Geiger counter. They've got like a football helmet. They've got, it's basically like nothing. I was thinking there was probably some beer in there or something too, but they fucking just hucked it out of an airplane. I'm like, are you allowed to just throw things out of airplanes?
Especially by a nuclear reactor site. Like, you don't think there might be some flight traffic issues flying around of like a former nuclear site? I don't know.
100%. And it wasn't even former. It was operational at the time of this episode's recording. It didn't get shut down until 2019.
Oh, I got a good Matrix porn. Sorry. This popped into my head.
Finally,
it would be a transsexual porno called Trinitys Nuts.
Trinitys Nuts. That's a great one. That's a great one, Chris.
Trinitys Nuts.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
I like that.
I had to interrupt for that one. I was pretty proud of that one.
Yeah. I like it, Chris. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
So a few things are happening, though, while they're getting their duffel bag of stuff delivered to them. Ape and Phil are in the living room reading magazines, and Phil is giving Ape a foot rub. So relaxing with, the MTV cameras on us.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. The boom operator needs to take a dump. Take 5, everybody. Take 5. They're clearly putting it on here for the show, but hey, good on them for playing into it. They love their son very, very much, clearly.
And they love a paycheck.
They love a paycheck, too. Who doesn't? But Glom wants to build a half pipe on the island. Yes, they've invited out Tim Glomb once again. Seems like this guy's on every episode. And
he's the fucking best, man. But here's the thing. I don't want to move past this because when Bam, I couldn't believe this. And remember last episode how I talked about when Tim Glomb is on the phone with like the people, like the trucks, like I need 4 trucks worth of lights delivered in Bam's place right now. And I'm like, I bet you he wasn't even talking to anyone. Pay attention. And this isn't a CGI thing. This isn't a rumor thing. This is actually, and I'll show it in this recording. When Bam is quote unquote talking to Tim on the phone, he's like, yeah, I need some stuff. Bring it. We're over on the island. I can throw a football at 3 Mile Island, whatever. In the background of that shot, you can see Tim Glomb's boat pulling up to the island.
Oh,
I'm
really?
dead serious. I'm dead serious because the next scene is the same boat coming onto the island and Tim's there with one other person unloading the supplies.
So he just like, this is like Grand Theft Auto 5. You just type in the password on your cell phone.
Yeah.
And then Tim Glomb just spawns nearby. I love it. It's good. He's always ready to go, that motherfucker. He's like the Tim Allen of the Viva La Bam universe, if I don't say so myself. Listen, I was hoping things were gonna like pick up here or maybe like get a little more exciting, but I feel like this whole episode, especially we're getting to like the halfway point now, has been kind of slow moving. But he shows up, they're there, they fuck around for a bit, he starts building. I think I'm actually having more fun seeing what Phil and Ape are doing, and that's kind of a testament to how slow this episode feels, at least to me, because meanwhile we've got Phil eating a massive sandwich in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Fucking huge,
I
dude.
almost left my house to
Phil.
go to the grocery store to build
I know.
the exact same sandwich. It looked so good.
I'm so
bun,
fucking
It looked
oh
amazing.
my God.
You piece of shit, Phil. Look at you eating that fucking sandwich. Yeah, I see that pickle on your face. You fucking...
He even has the U.S. flags in his sandwich.
Just give me...
Like, this is amazing.
Totally unnecessary. Give me some of that sandwich. That looks delicious, though. He threatened you, not me, says Phil, as they speak in the kitchen. Phil and Ape here. It seems to me like Phil is playing the neutral party, just denying the fact that revenge will also come for him in due time. He's just totally oblivious to it. And we go back to the island now, and they've got the ramps complete, so we're going to do some nighttime skating here. What'd you guys think of the ramp they built?
I think it looks great, but you skip past one thing which I found hilarious when people are starting to get hungry on the island, and which is right after you see Phil building his enormous sandwich. Ryan Dunn, the biggest asshole in the world, doing maybe the funniest thing in this episode. He throws the fucking cake into the fire, and Raab is so pissed off. Like, this whole episode, my favorite through line is that Raab legitimately doesn't want to be there. If you look back to the scene where Ape and Phil are leaving, he's like, yo, I had plans today. Like, I had to be somewhere.
Probably had like a hot date or something like that.
Yeah. He had to go divorce his Russian mail order bride. Yeah, exactly. And then when Ryan burns the cake, you get like Rake coming up like, guys, who the fuck burnt the cake? Like they don't have a lot of food. It was so rude, but yeah, that was funny. And in terms of the skate ramp, I think it was great. This is Tim being Tim. Like, the theme of Viva La Bam is just like, put a skate park in it. Like that episode of Portlandia, put a bird on it. Tim just comes to like, put a skate park in it. Why not? Everything needs a new skate park.
He sure does. Way to go, Tim. Back at home, it's starting to drizzle real good. Ape says, yes, it's going to rain. Phil, I can only imagine, would reply, no, I meant me. I think it was that big sandwich. I'm pooping, Ape. I'm pooping in my pants right now.
I remember him saying that. It was a weird line, a weird change in tone to the episode.
Hey, side note, did you guys notice why does Phil look dead inside this whole time? Every time we cut back, he's staring straight forward. No expression on his face. And it's like he's got one of those brain parasites that,
he's got some head crabs.
Yeah, head crab. There you go. Thank you. What's up with Phil?
Maybe he's scared of Bam's revenge.
I honestly wonder if, because like every time you see Phil at any other point in any episode of this show or Jackass or the movies, he's having something done to him. Maybe this is just him when he's out of danger. Maybe he's just kind of complacent all the time.
Well, meanwhile, a ghost appears at the campfire. Oh, no, wait, that's just Don Vito hiding in a sheet. The tactic he uses quite often to lure small children at Halloween parties. Look, Vito got sent out to check on the boys. They built a shelter out of plywood, so they're okay. No problems. Nothing. Hey, Vito.
They barely built a shelter out of plywood.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. It's basically just like a box, like 4 pieces of plywood, just.
But here's what I don't get about that is like everyone's fucking off. They're all on the, like, if this is Survivor, the people who go build the shelter, they're like people like those guys. Everyone's making fun of Ryan Dunn for trying to help build a shelter. Like, fuck you, Raab. Raab's doing nothing except complaining, and then he starts making fun of Ryan. Except it was hilarious when Ryan's trying to build it, and he's measuring the plywood or whatever, and puts it in the fire by mistake. That's why, Chris, I think maybe he's not the best carpenter to have around. But Raab gets his comeuppance, and we'll get to that in a little bit. That was the fucking best.
Yeah.
So at the point when Don Vito showed up, they put a football helmet on him and, they forced him to start drinking with him. I got to ask you guys, how drunk do you think everybody was at this point? 'Cause it seems like it's pretty late at night. Seems like they're getting a good buzz going. What else would you do out there?
I think they were very, because there's a conversation that happens between Don Vito and Bam, and Bam looks like, I think there was in Jackass the movie, when they trap Bam in the truck with the snake and then he escapes, you get to see him like legit blasted drunk. And this is one of the only other times when he's like slurring his word and his eyes are going all over the place and he has a beer in his hands. And I'm like, oh, they're all shit-faced, because of course they are. They've probably been drinking since before they took the boat out in the first place. And now it's 2:30 in the morning or whatever it is. And they're probably just obliterated. And then they wake up at 7:30 in the morning and it's very clear they're incredibly hungover. And then I start thinking about the fact that like Glom was skateboarding naked. So he's probably super hungover. He was probably shit-faced at the time that he did that. And he's got to be the one to like really put the plan together to get off the island. And he's probably the most hungover. And anyone, like, if you've ever woken up in a hotel room and you've known that you have like a travel day ahead of you, it's the most miserable feeling in the world. And Chris, I know you know all about that.
Oh yeah. It's literally the worst thing. It happens to me almost every time I go on vacation.
That's true, because I'm usually with you, and that's absolutely the case.
Oh man,
I've seen you cry. I've seen you cry in an airport before because you were so hungover.
Yes, I did.
And man, just seeing this, like I said, it gave me flashbacks, made me want to cry a little. Flashbacks to, just parties out in the middle of nowhere and some farmers, off some farmer's property. That's what people used to do where I grew up, in the old goth cowboy land. There would be lots of bonfires and shit like this. People sleeping outside, waking up with snot dripping out their nose, and just
like Bam.
That fucking feeling. If you guys have ever slept outside when it was like rainy or damp, like, that feeling. You wake up, you feel like, especially if you've been drinking and you're dehydrated, it's just a bad combination. He looks so fucking uncomfortable the next morning. Sorry, Chris, what's up?
Mikey, you said that's the worst. When the fuck have you ever slept outside when it was damp and wet?
Well, A, we used to go camping as kids. B, at music festivals, you'd be amazed at how miserable it gets when you wake up.
I know
in the
you're
morning.
like, I couldn't imagine you sleeping anywhere without putting on your gloves and your fucking pajamas and your night mask and being in your nice comfy bed. So that really, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, you do the music festival thing.
Yeah, dude, I showed up to one music festival in Tennessee, and the worst thing about this, it's Bonnaroo. The worst thing about this music festival is during the day, it's some of the most excruciating heat I've ever experienced, and at night it gets like below freezing temperatures. It's freezing cold, and you just wait. You're never comfortable. You're waking up either sweating or shivering. And when I got out there, I realized that my blow up mattress didn't have a plug, so I had to sleep on the fucking grass. It was not a good time.
You know what, though, Chris? Mikey does fine without the lotions and the gloves out there because he can just take a lot of LSD and go run off into the forest, roll around in the mud, and, there's lots of nutrients and minerals in that shit.
It's like my own face mask. It's great.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He'll be fine. Would you guys prefer waking up like this, snotty and wet, to waking up in a tent that's in direct sunlight? Because I fucking hate that. I think it's like one of the worst feelings.
I think that is actually one of the worst feelings, and that happens 9 times out of 10 on music festivals.
God
it's
damn.
just exhausting. It feels like you're in like an oven. Like literally, it feels like you wake up gasping for breath.
Oh, I couldn't handle that. I can't sleep in heat. Like heat kills me. I'd rather be cold than hot. Like obviously with exception of extreme like cold, but I could never sleep like that. That sounds absolutely terrible.
All right, I should probably get us back on track. Everybody falls asleep that night, wake up, they're hungover. They're just not having it anymore. They're all ready to go home. They did their 24 hours, or at least we're getting there anyway. They do start up the fire in an attempt to, I can only assume, burn down all of Westchester, because that's a big fucking fire.
I can't believe they did. This whole episode is filled with I don't think you're allowed to do that. I would be the worst person to have on the cast or crew of this movie, because at every corner I'd be like, guys, I don't know about this one. And Ben would be like, yo, fuck you. Why are you here? I'd be like, well, health and safety. Technically, you've got to have one of me around. I don't want to be a damper on anything, but we really should call and ask whether we should be lighting a fire halfway across the river from 3 Mile Island.
You shouldn't. Fire safety, kids. Fire safety. It's important. Hey, let's get Ape on the phone and get out of here. Where are you? They say. And she's just playing it like she's playing it cool. She's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. Where are you guys? What are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Who's coming to get us, Ape? Why don't you stay out another night? You're having so much fun with your friends. Would you like to sleep over another night? Yeah, she's just being a dick about it. But she says she'll come pick him up tomorrow. Ape really poking the bear here. And Bam says, wait till the 6 o'clock news, Ape. Now, here's the thing. Okay, we know something's coming that's going to surprise Ape later in the episode. Fine.
Right.
How the fuck is this not scripted, guys? If you don't have proof, there's your fucking proof. If you're going to get something on the 6 o'clock news, I think you need a little leeway. I think you need a little heads up. You can't just call the morning of and be like, hey, 6 o'clock news? Yeah, I've got a big story for you. Go over to my house right now and let's go see what's happening over there. Like,
fine, but it didn't actually air on the news.
No,
I think that wasn't even a real newscaster. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
How many fucking contacts does he have in that phone for every goddamn situation that could possibly arise? Need to get something on the 6 o'clock news? Don't worry, I got a guy for that too.
I'm not contact to get a boat over to drop supplies, but no contact to get a boat to come pick them up.
Here's the thing. I would say having a contact. He has like the Felix the Cat's magic bag of contacts, which is a reference that maybe only I get, where he calls MTV and MTV does whatever the fuck he wants them to do. Like, people forget how powerful MTV would have been at this point in time. Even though they didn't show up on the 6 o'clock news, I bet you someone at MTV could have arranged for it to happen if they really, really wanted to. But I have a question for you guys. I was surprised. I'm surprised none of you brought this up yet. During this scene when Bam's talking to Ape, did you notice anything weird going on in the background?
I don't know.
No? Okay. if you can go back and rewatch that, I'll obviously show it during the episode. And by the way, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know, we also do this over on YouTube with clips of the episode strewn in it. And if you're curious about this, go see it. In the background, while Bam is talking to Ape, Rake Yohn in a red like onesie pajamas is doubled over and his ass is being censored. And I have no idea what's going on, why his ass is hanging out. That. He looks miserable. And then, so I was curious. So every other scene in this episode, I'm keeping an eye on Rake to be like, is he just severely hungover? And he looks like he's so fucking out of it. At one point, he like smells his hand and looks repulsed. And I'm like, what happened to him? What happened on the island that we don't know about? It's like fucking Yellow Jackets. No one's willing to tell what they actually went through.
I wonder if there's something in the deleted scenes for that.
I bet you there are.
I really want to know what his hand smelled like and why, though.
He probably rubbed his nuts, did like the nut check. You know, everyone does that.
Yeah, probably.
You got to do a nut check. I mean, how else are you going to know, right?
Yes.
So good thing we got Glom here, though. He's the legendary builder of boats, after all. He's going to build us a boat from a log. It's canoe time, boys. So they hollow out this log, and at the count of 3, they throw it down a hill to the shore. The boat snaps a little bit, kind of cracks up a little bit. But it seems like they're not giving up there. The boat's going in the water. It's Glom down there. Now, I had the impression they were all going to get in the canoe, but no.
Yeah, same.
It's Glom here. Dunn gives him a big sheet of styrofoam. He says, puts it underneath, and then Glom climbs on the log, on the styrofoam, and finally, all those years of grueling childhood boogie board lessons are going to pay off. And off he goes.
I can't believe he commits to this. He's like, I'm going to build a boat. And everyone around him is like, yeah, I don't think you can just use a rotten felled tree to make a canoe. And they cut it open and it's like a semicircle. Like Tim Glomb loves half pipes and he just cuts the tree in half and it's like looks kind of like a half pipe. And he's like, it'll be a boat too. I don't know. It'll probably work. You put it in the water. Obviously it doesn't float, but he's like that stubborn dad that has a plan of like, no, trust me, it'll definitely work. And they're like, it's not going to work. And he gets out in the water and it's barely floating and he just commits to it and takes this like half styrofoam, half log contraption and floats like fucking far down the river on this thing. I'd be there like, this is unsafe. We shouldn't be doing this, guys. How are we getting away with this?
Oh man, it did look so unsafe too, because I thought they were just gonna like show him go, a few handful of feet from the shore and then they'd cut away. No, he fucking just goes out there. I'm thinking, holy
He's
shit.
Gone. Okay. He's gone.
And the river current's really taking him too, eh?
Exactly.
It's okay though. You just dial in the password and you can just spawn another one. So really, who cares?
Another Tim Glomb.
Yeah. It's an infinite supply.
Yeah, it's like when you're done with your tank in GTA and you're just like, you leave it around the corner and you're like, I could run back to it or just like pull your phone out and get another tank there. Yeah. The original Tim Glomb's just floating away like, well, I thought they were my friends.
Actually, to solve their problem, I don't know why they didn't just spawn 100 Tim Glombs and make a bridge to cross the river.
Yeah, make a bridge out of his corpses.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to die. I mean, that's up to him, really. How long can he hold his breath?
That's a good question.
Anyway,
we will find out.
Don't hold your breath for this one because guess what? After the commercial break, they've already got a boat? How the fuck did that happen? Like Tim Glomb was floating away on the sketchiest looking thing I've ever seen. And like seconds later, he's back on a boat. Now, I know time could have passed, but it just seems a little convenient is all I'm saying.
Well, from the time he leaves to the time he gets picked up, I think that was like 3 extra hours because it all starts at like 12:30 when Bam is like, okay, Ape's not coming to get us. And then they don't get picked up until like 4:30 or something like that.
Huh. Okay. Well, yeah. It was just funny is all I'm saying. Like it just seemed kind of strange, but here they are on the boat. We're out of here. Everybody flip off the island.
Hang on.
You're forgetting about the best part about everything.
You cannot gloss over this.
What?
Raab.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, Raab, what are you talking about? This is the best part of the episode.
I'm letting you have the stage. I thought it would be nice to let you have the stage. Also, I might have somehow missed this, but that's irrelevant. I'm giving you the stage. God.
Raab, Mr. Miserable, who's just been making fun of Ryan Dunn for trying to be a good guy and build a shelter the whole time. Because what we didn't say is after so long of Raab making fun of Ryan pulls out a fire extinguisher, which no one's talking about why they have a fire extinguisher there, and sprays Raab. After Tim leaves, Raab wakes up finally, and it looks like he was just in a boxing match against a bare knuckle brawler. His eyes are puffed out to shit, like he had some battle allergic reaction.
And the bare knuckle brawler had like bee stingers on his fucking boxing gloves. Like he is just fucking swollen. He looks like it, like not even a human. He looks like a child / man /
Careful, you might get Don Vito excited here.
What? It's amazing like how bad it looks and how quickly it got to that point. And he's immediately blaming Ryan. He's like, this is what you did to me. You sprayed me with this. And like, this is not a bit. He's pissed off. Like he's really pissed off, which I get it. It's 7:30. You're hungover. You're miserable. And now your eyes are popping out of your head.
Well, you're having an allergic reaction, panicking.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't imagine this was at the point like Bam's not thinking, okay, we need a medic with us on the island. They just kind of had to deal with it. And so they do. But every time it shows Raab on camera, I laughed because he looks so fucking funny and miserable at the same time.
Yeah, he looked like he was having a rough time out there. And you guys are totally right. That was probably the highlight of the episode.
It was the best part.
Thank
it was
you for
so
not
clearly
letting
the
me
best part.
Gloss over that one. So we're out of here. Everybody flip off the island. Yeah, you take that, you dirty hunk of land. I guess they really didn't like that island very much.
No.
So there you go. Mike Scott from Action News is here to surprise Ape while she's out running some errands. Oh, guys, I can't tell you how much I love Action News. You know, Action News, that totally legitimate news outlet that exists. It isn't just like some fabrication of MTV. Replay the video of what happened. Ape says, what video? I don't know what's going on. The house exploded. Bam, blew up the house. Now, boys, settle down. Can we take a moment here? Just sit down, will you, please? Help yourself to some cream sandwich cookies and tea. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior CGI technology?
Yeah. No, I thought this one was real.
Did you?
You mean it wasn't?
I mean, come on, those graphics, though. The house didn't even splinter or anything while all those explosions were going off.
This was the most anticlimactic thing in the world.
It was.
Bam is really good at fucking with people, and he was pissed off, and this is the best that he was able to come up with.
Chris is he's really broken up. Yeah, Chris is really upset. He really expected a more of a revenge thing. He's crying.
My nose has been plugged this whole episode. It's been like so hard to breathe. I'm just like breathing out of my mouth, and I just lost my voice there. But yeah, it sucked.
Okay, good.
Lost my train of thought completely. Sorry.
Here's the thing about this one is I think I'm of two minds of it. You got to keep in mind that CG technology was not great at this point in time, and given that, this didn't look awful. Ape's also watching it on a tiny screen. At first I saw it and I was like, there's no fucking way she thinks this is real. Not a chance. Because it shows the house exploding, and then the camera that's filming it kind of like shutters or whatever, and then it's filming her on her way back to the house. And I'm like, she's doing this for the camera. But once they start talking, like once she starts talking to Bam, she's crying. Like she's tearing up. And it's like, oh shit, did she actually believe that her house exploded?
I think
but then why is she crying?
I think she felt guilty about leaving her son on the island. And it's really, that's where the emotion's coming from. Because
do you think Bam like manipulated her to be like, listen, this isn't even just for the show, but like that really bummed me out. I can't believe you did that. And then she did feel guilty. Maybe. I bet you he seems like the kind of guy who would pull some shit like that. For sure.
I can't believe he just fucking tackles her.
Yeah. After they kiss and make up. Yeah.
It's like, it's such an aggressive move. I don't know. I guess I used to walk around giving you guys on the fucking the diamond cutter or the stone cold stunner all the time.
Yeah, but we're not our mom, right?
I did it to mom all the time. You guys used to fucking hate me. Every time you guys turned around a corner, diamond cutter. Bang!
No, I know that. I remembered hating you. I don't remember you doing it to mom, probably because you concussed me so many times that I don't remember that age growing up.
I was going to say, the diamond cutter is a pretty complex maneuver. I'm impressed that you were able to pull that off, but the concussions, I don't know. Your technique might need a little work. If you're giving concussions, you're doing it wrong.
Or right. You know? Or he's really doing it right.
I've always believed wrestling was real, so.
Okay. It is.
Well, in that case,
did you guys notice the Ape's PT Cruiser, though, doesn't have any of the modifications on? So this clearly was filmed quite a bit earlier compared to the last couple episodes.
Leave it up to Mikey to notice the minute details of the PT Cruiser. His favorite car ever.
It is his favorite car ever, yeah. As was
it's the best car of all time. It's the best car of all time.
Man, I don't know. Seeing that house explode and burst up into flames was pretty. it was hard to watch, but I'm still just in pieces here from having to see that Larry and Brian cake go in the fire. I think that was the real big loss of this episode. And I'm just hoping Larry and Brian got what was coming to them, because it looked like a real nice cake, and they never got to eat the cake. They never received the cake. Who knows? That might have even ruined the relationship between the Margeras and Larry and Brian. We don't know.
Or there is something potentially really sad about this. Like that whole thing of what's the saddest story you've ever heard? Infant's shoes, brand new, never used, or something like that. It's like the implication is that the infant died. It's like, what if Larry and Brian died before their birthday, and that's why the cake's still there?
Oh shit.
I still think it was just a Larry O'Brien mess up, but you guys could.
Yeah, you're probably right. It was probably Larry O'Brien.
And on that note, that's the end of the episode. Man, we had fun today, didn't we? This episode for me personally, and I don't know how you guys feel exactly, but like I said, I don't think it ever got there. Like, it felt slow. The midway point, like I said, it was a little slow. There was some good moments, but I don't know. You'd think the concept of leaving someone on an island for 24 hours could have been a lot more exciting, or it could have had more twists and turns. I don't know. It didn't really get there for me. How about you guys?
I actually liked it. Honestly, I liked the whole thing. I liked the build when the twist comes in that it's clear that Ape is going to escape. Ape Escape, another great game. Look at all these video game references today. When Ape's going to escape with Phil and Don Vito, I was giddy. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Because as much as you hate the fact that you're stuck on an island, when you know you're stuck on an island, it becomes kind of like cool, like niche, like, ooh, it's like a little mini vacation. And I thought they may get up to a little bit more shenanigans. I agree they should have left Don Vito there, because that would have, as we're finding out, he makes every episode way better. But apart from that, no, I enjoyed the beat by beat. I liked the build up. I didn't love the climax, because as you said, Chris, when you broke down in tears, Bam's usually a lot better at figuring that stuff out. But otherwise, I enjoyed it. I liked this episode.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. Didn't really have much for me. I liked it. Like you said at the beginning, I thought we were going to be in for an absolute treat when they did the old switcheroo.
Right.
But to promise this, the worst revenge ever, and then just to have it be some cheesy CGI that I couldn't imagine anyone believed. The crescendo was a huge letdown. So yeah, that was the, they say you remember the first and last things. The middle kind of goes by the wayside, and the end of it just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth.
I get that. Well, guys, what about, I know we promised we were going to start doing this. We got to name an MVP for each episode. And I propose that we also do the LVP, the least valuable player, as well.
Don Vito.
MVP of this episode. Chris, who's your vote?
What's his face? The ramp building guy.
Tim Glomb.
Tim
Glomb, I feel like he could win. He could win MVP of every episode he's in. Jay, what about you?
I agree with Tim Glomb, just because of that boat sequence and going across the river. Sketchy as fuck. Good job, Tim Glomb.
Guys, we are, for the first time in the history of this podcast, a unanimous MVP winner of Tim Glomb.
Woo!
Even though he's not really like a person. You can't really call him MVP because he's not human. We've established he's
yeah, right. He's just a cheat code.
Yeah, he's just a cheat code. So
yeah, but if he's an NPC, most valuable player, it's not most valuable person. So it does fit the MVP.
That's a good
science guy is back. I see.
But see, this is what I mean, Jay, is he says these things super confidently without realizing that NPC is non-player character.
Exactly.
So he isn't a player then. You just proved yourself wrong, but you said it with confidence.
I'm not here to argue semantics with you all day.
I love his routine. Chris, your routine is the best. Like, you've got it on lock here. It's try to convince. If convincing does not work and there's resistance, immediately deflect and deny. And
like Rake's glasses.
It's bulletproof. You can't get through. I love it. All right. Well,
what about the loser? What about the LVP?
Oh, Mikey, you go. Who's your
I'm going to start. Listen, Raab is the loser of this episode because he's miserable. He's unhappy. What happens to him ends up becoming one of the best parts of the episode. But I think the reason it works so well is because we want to see him punished for being a little bit of a meanie in the first parts of the episode. So Raab gets my vote.
I'm going with Don Vito.
Oh.
He didn't get any rewards with food or money, so he's absolutely miserable. He had to go on a boat ride to come off the boat, and he got sent out in the middle of the night to go deal with them at their drunkest time, only to come back in the rain. it must have been a shitty day for him. You know, he didn't get to sleep. He didn't get any rewards. I think he was the big loser.
No, that's not a bad point. Jay, what about you?
Look, it's obviously always going to be Don Vito as like a standard. That'll never change. Anytime he's on screen, he is the loser. But I will say that for this episode specifically, Don Vito exempt, it's Phil. It's Phil. You know why?
That was my runner-up. That was my runner-up, Jay. That's a really good call.
He did nothing for me. Yes, he was kind in trying to get Vito on the boat when no one would vouch for him. Okay, you got your act of kindness. You get your little medal there, Phil. But the rest of the episode, he was dead inside. He wasn't giving the camera anything. And then he had the gall to eat that fucking sandwich in front of me. I haven't had lunch yet. I got to look at this shit? Fuck you, Phil. You're the LVP.
That's a good point. All right, so 3 different votes, but each of them, I think, have their own merit. I like this. I like this little button to the end of the episode.
To find us on social media, that's at Jackast Pod, at Jackast. There's a T in there. Pod. On Instagram, on Twitter, on all those good ones.
All the good ones. And jackaspod@gmail.com as well. And if you have any questions or anything you want to send through to us, feel free to hit us up, jackaspod@gmail.com.
Well, boys, this was fun. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Jackast. And we are, how many weeks away now? I think at the time that this comes out, we are a little bit of ahead in our recording schedule. We should be, 3 weeks out? Because we're going to have one episode of Viva La Bam to finish off season, a special episode, which we haven't revealed yet, and then I think we're at the movie.
We're getting there. The movie comes out February 4th. Holy moly.
So we want to find a way to... We want, I think, should we talk about this on here? I think we should, because we kind of already established it between the 3 of us, but we want to try and this is our goal, I think, to be the first podcast to have coverage on Jackast forever. So expect something the day the movie comes out from us. Let's say that much. Is that fair?
I think that's definitely the goal. And we're going to try our hardest to do that. I think Chris and I are planning to see a midnight screening if there are any. We're just not sure. We're really not sure what's going to happen with the state of lockdowns in Ontario. So we may actually be limited in terms of when we're finally able to see this movie, which is super unfortunate.
It's terrible. I want to see this in theaters so badly.
So badly. Because we're probably never going to get another shot to see Jackass in theaters.
Yeah, that's a real kicker, right? That's what we were all looking forward to. And things were actually pretty good at the original release date that year.
I know. I knew it was going to happen too. I knew come this time of the year is going to pick up again, but fuck, really pissed me off.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we'll find a way, whether we bond together and do a watch, the 3 of us in spirit, maybe a second watch or something, or I don't know. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to make it a community activity if we can. And at the very least, if you can't, well, I guess you're shit out of luck. I ain't got nothing for you, but I'm going to end the episode now because I am the king of dragging these things out, and nobody's going to take that away from me. So until next time, for the final episode of Viva La Bam, bye, I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye, I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Bye, I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been Jackast.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it!
This was a Press X for Sound audio production.